The art of negotiation? Oh, wow. The art of negotiation. People often say I've got a good head for business, that I'm good at spotting and taking advantage of opportunities. Personally, I don't think of it like that. I think we make our own opportunities. I started from nothing, not a more to my name. I had nothing to rely on but myself, my ability to negotiate and persuade those better off to work with me. That's how I created my opportunities, through negotiation. And all my experiences have taught me that the ability to negotiate can solve almost any problem. That's what I've always counted on. So I hope you won't follow the path I describe, as that would only make the world difficult for me to succeed in. So why'd you bother writing this then? Gain the initiative. Yeah, look, some of us roll really poorly for initiative. I think the outset of most negotiations can be determined from the outset. Everyone who knows me knows that. I used to be an itinerant desert trader, which is how I got my start. I had no money, no experience, but I learned something very important out there. Always speak loudly to make people think you are confident. Loudly is not the right word you should be using here. It's more just like frequently, like always speak up. If you stay quiet, it gives the impression of a lack of confidence or even a lack of knowledge. But speaking loudly just makes you obnoxious. The desert is hostile to outsiders. The locals there will only deal with those they trust. They are scared of outsiders, or rather, maybe they're scared of being cheated. So why would they trade with me, some penniless kid with no background? But later, I realized that their rejection of outsiders was only a symptom. So what was the underlying cause? It's because they can't be sure of the quality of products that come from outside. So obviously, you need to provide some compelling proof of the quality of your goods to win their trust, or make them think you have that compelling proof at least. Now, okay, that's not just me. How do you make them think that? Typo. It's all in how confidently you talk, even if it's just bravado. As long as you act confident, people will assume you have a reason for that confidence and they'll talk themselves into trusting you. Correct. So I hawked my goods loud and proud, used my imposing manner to overpower them, beating them down until they started to wonder why I dared talk like that. Well, it had to be because I had plenty of buyers and I didn't care if they made a purchase or not, right? Which meant I had to have a good reputation for selling quality goods. That meant they couldn't go wrong buying them. And you all know what happened next. I made my first fortune. Looking back, I feel that negotiation is all about convincing the other party to agree with or accept whatever you're telling them. That's not negotiation. If you gain the initiative by showing your strength and overwhelm your opponent with an opposing manner, they'll be convinced. And that brings our goals within easy reach, doesn't it? Steer the conversation. I find steering the conversations to be a very effective negotiation technique and a reliable way of getting out of a difficult situation. I once wanted to try to sell goods from Mondstadt and Liyue. My customers didn't know anything about Mondstadt. They were just ordinary folk who'd never even set foot outside Liyue in their lives. For them, buying goods from some unknown place was a huge risk, so sales were understandably poor. And as you can imagine, my investor was losing faith. Now that might sound like a thorny problem, but the solution was simple. I had to talk to my customers about what a great place Mondstadt is, making them curious about it, or even trusting. And that trust would transfer to my goods and convert into sales. And what about my investor? That was even easier. He lacked faith, so I gave him some. I convinced him sales would be good. And of course, it doesn't really matter if sales really are good or not. Once you identify the root cause of a problem, the solution will become apparent. But I couldn't be too obvious about it. I carried out a market research survey, with a Mora reward for anyone who filled in a questionnaire. Everyone was clamoring to fill one in once they heard the sound of Mora. Now, you might be wondering what this has got to do with negotiation. I can answer that. The most powerful weapon in negotiation is the truth, and the truth can be manipulated. The questionnaire looked like market research, but it was actually guiding everyone toward the conclusion I wanted them to reach. So here's what happened. I planted some leading questions in the survey. For example, I felt Mondstadt is known for its freedom, while Liyue's citizens largely desire leisurely and happy lives. Thus, the conclusion I wanted people to reach was that these two things are mutually complementary. So I asked questions like this. Do you like a relaxed and leisurely life? Do you like an atmosphere of freedom? Do fine wines help you enjoy life? And so on. Most people would answer such questions in the affirmative. Next, we used the survey to ask if they like free and happy cities, such as the city of Mondstadt. And, naturally, most people answered yes. With that, we created the impression that everyone in Mondstadt is happy. That gave me an image to leverage in my sales. I wasn't selling goods now, I was selling a lifestyle. A lifestyle of happiness. And obviously, you can all imagine how successful I was. Of course, you will always run into contrary types who insist on singing a different tune. Those responses can influence the data from the survey and cause undue concern to the people who see those numbers. My investor, for example. I had to eliminate that, or at least reduce it. And I did so in a rather crude way. I hinted to the participants that the moral reward would be dependent on their answers. Money is enough of a temptation to convince most of the contrary types to compromise. That meant I had cleaner data, which I could use to bolster my investors' faith. And that meant it was time for the next part of my plan. The universal formula. People often ask me if there is any unbeatable negotiation techniques that can be used in any situation. I tell them there is one. It is to begin your answers like this. I agree with your views, but... I call this the universal formula for no other reason than that it analyzes and uses human nature. It lays bare our weaknesses. Why? Because we crave approval. Nobody can do without it, myself included. I used to be an itinerant trader, traveling all over. I met all kinds of people back then. The Eremites, treasure hoarders, and even the Abyss Order. All of them, even the Abyss Mages, known for their stubbornness and mischief making, would reconsider their views and seek my approval after I used that line. I would even dare to say that if I could speak the language of the slimes or hillochells, they too would fall under the spell of that magic trick. So I would hate for everyone to know it, especially my competitors. Given the title is boring, I wasn't interested in that. Huh? And there's a note here? Go to the registration counter at the front desk to participate in the Coupon Cafeteria's internal satisfaction survey for a chance to win coupon rewards. Coupons? Wow, see this? We can get coupons. Paimon didn't expect something this good at all. Let's go. Paimon, you've already fallen for the trick. What am I going to do with you? Well, Lena's busy completing the quest. Well, I guess we'll come back. Guess we'll come back to that one. We've got to go see Meng Lane. Got to check out. How coincidental that I immediately picked up a quest that used the exact same person I was literally about to go see. That's actually quite funny.
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Meripede via the regular channels.
Even she's aware that we leave all the time.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
That wasn't very promising.
What's happening?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks. But I wonder what that tremor was just now.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Let's check the Meng Lane first. I'm not coming back here. The registration counter at the front desk. That's it. Let's try our luck. Hello, Miss Meng Lane. You just discharged me, but I have another question before I leave. She doesn't look like she's easy to get along with. I mean, she was fine 2 seconds ago. Maybe the art of negotiation will work. That's right. We've got this book. Who knew it could come in handy here? Let's see. Found it. If you gain the initiative by showing your strength and overwhelming your opponent with an imposing manner. Oh god, she's going to take this the wrong way. That's it. Overwhelm the opponent by being imposing. Paimon gets it. Paimon just has to be louder, right? No! That's not what it means. Oh my god, it's like someone reading The Art of War and just completely misunderstanding it. Oh, wait, maybe that's where this came from. Hey, Miss Meng Lane, hello. I heard you. What can I do for you? Huh? It really worked. Hee. We're here for the satisfaction survey, Miss Meng Lane. Paimon means to say that she's here to accompany her. Don't mind, Lunara. We have his book. Paimon will sneak peeks at the book and tell you what to do. Anyway, yeah, just listen to Paimon. Let's never listen to Paimon. Another one saw the notes in the books. Hun? Yeah, that's right. Just how many were? Actually, just forget it. It's fine. Please wait a moment. Allow me to explain the rules. The survey has a total of 5 questions. Remember, answer them quickly and intuitively. Remember, you must answer... Sorry, please answer them. Remember, you must answer them quickly. Do you understand? We can begin once you're ready. We're ready. Put myself into the book. Very good. Let's hurry and begin them. Okay. Question 1. Do you think it is reasonable to maintain the prices for the food in the coupon cafeteria at the current low level? I mean, I find it reasonable, but I guess we've got to follow the book. I agree with your views, but there is room for improvement. If only it tasted just a little better. Don't you think so too, Lunara? Or sweet madama is available. Yeah, Paimon would happily eat that every day if you did that. Excuse me. Huh? According to the rules, the survey must be answered quickly. Let's move on to the next question. Fine, rules are rules. Question number 2. Is adequate food available during dining hours in the coupon cafeteria? But it just tastes awful. Yeah, it has more mint than grows on all of Tibet. None of even Wolsey doesn't get enough to eat. I agree with your views, but you can't use that for every single question. Where you refuse to eat it. I know you've read the book. Anyway, I'll just put it down as yes. This is so tiring. Let's move on to the next question. Before we move on to the third question, I'd like to remind you that the survey requires you to answer quickly. So, do you think the current randomized meal system is interesting? Pay more attention to the taste. I agree with your views, but... She's turning it on us. I thought you said we had to be quick. Doesn't randomized meals create the feeling of a pleasant surprise of not knowing what you'll get next? That's true. When you put it like that, it does sound really interesting. Paimon! What? This only makes a little sense. It's very difficult to disagree. Please answer quickly. I don't know if I'm supposed to be answering quickly or if I'm supposed to be following the book. I think it's interesting, including the fortune slips. Hard work begets success. Paimon thinks it's awesome. It is hard work to guide others. He. Question number 4. Do you think it's reasonable to sell addictive foods? No, I do not. Gain the initiative, steal the conversation. No, they seem to be, maybe we should go back to the verse. This is all right, these questions. Is this during the conversation? Please don't overthink or engage in idle chatter. As I mentioned, please think quickly. It's very reasonable, I agree with your views, but... Alright, thank you for your feedback. Now it's time for the final question. Did you just completely ignore us? Are our answers not important at all? Based on the answers you've just provided, are you satisfied with the current state of the coupon cafeteria? What were they again? Paimon can't remember all of them. It's alright, then I'll just write down that you're satisfied. No, honey, let me answer the question. But something doesn't feel quite right. I should probably mention that you will not receive any coupons if you answer no. It's way over the line. Then what about you, madame? Don't ignore Paimon. I'm generally satisfied, but... Very well. Thank you for your cooperation. Your support is our motivation to improve. Please sign here to claim your coupons. The intelligent flying clockwork device by your side can sign for the coupons too. Paimon gets them too, but Paimon didn't even participate. Is that really okay? Wait, Paimon is Paimon, not some intelligent flying clockwork device. Very well. Anyway, we respect all input, so everybody, all people in Mecca are eligible. Mecca. Didn't you hear Paimon? Paimon isn't a flying clockwork device. Paimon is Paimon. Don't ignore Paimon. Understood. Anyway, in order to help save your precious time, I can fill in the survey for you. Don't worry, the number of coupons you receive won't change. I'm sure you'll be answering satisfactory to every question, right? Yes, coupons. Paimon, you just failed again. In that case, just sign here and leave the rest to me. Cool, this way we'll get coupons and save the trouble. Thanks, Ms. Wonglane. Thank you for your support. Please take your coupons and we'll have you participate in the next survey. You failed so hard, Paimon. In retrospect, Ms. Wonglane didn't really care about our responses. No, the problem is with the questions themselves. Yeah, you're right. The questionnaire really was weird, and Ms. Wonglane seemed so exhausted. The art of negotiation failed. Yeah, it's because she was aware of the tricks, though. I'll negotiate for sure. Looks like that are all completely useless after all. The book is a problem. I agree with your views, but... Hey, don't you go mocking Paimon now. Some art of negotiation. It really was totally useless after all. It was entertaining. What was that? I didn't catch that. Non-zero sum game. What? Non-zero sum... I don't understand. Anywho. I'll take it. Where are we going? Up. Go to the office. Oh, sorry, it was in the Duke. Mr. Ridsley. Has that time run out? Ooh. Never let us here to save the day. He doesn't seem too concerned if he's at his desk.
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface.
That somehow feels worse.
Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So of the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
True.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
She's so freaking shiny and bright. Why are you so bloomy, Paimon? It's painful to look at.
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Wow. That worked out well, time-wise. Today's the day we say goodbye to the fortress for but 2 seconds.
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
We have.
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving now?
Yep.
That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice!
A lot of people have helped us out.
Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now!
You should never feel fond of a prison, Paimon.
Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Yay!
Wow, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just joking.
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
The fact that he questions it is hilarious.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Shall I come along too?
It's alright. It's not like we'll never visit again.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria
You
here.
just bitched
And
about
she
it
sure
to
knows how to
Monglane.
make good grub.
You literally had problems with it 2 seconds ago, Paimon. Ah, you bloody hypocrite.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
I mean, technically we weren't convicts in the first place.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble.
More like we attract trouble.
Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Meripede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Nervlev was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia. You're going to see Monsieur Nervulette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure it won't come up in the conversation, but if it does, I will let him know.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to
Yeah,
do.
come on, Ridesley. Don't be like that.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles.
That sounds more like you. Can I just fast travel to the Palais? Yes, I can. Didn't know if it would make me like go through the actual motions of leaving. The doors don't open, really? I kind of thought they would. Oh well.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
The question is why?
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Nervulette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me, would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Why was this necessary? I could have just gone straight in to see him.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening.
He didn't really need that awkward encounter to tell us that. That was a terrible transition.
Nervulette!
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first.
Then I haven't arrived at the right time then, have I? I've arrived early.
In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
Are you just gonna stare at the poor man? How can he perform under this kind of pressure?
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
You weren't even working!
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you have managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
I'm yawning, I'm sorry.
A massive whale.
Something along the lines of, we tell him everything that happened in the Fortress of Meripede, including what we know about Child and the Primordial Sea.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the Primordial Sea.
Well, that much I already knew.
A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
He's not from Fontaine, so he won't dissolve.
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself.
Hey, I have his vision. Do you want to have a look at it? There's something we'd like to ask you about.
Yes? What is it?
I don't know. Ah, what was that tremor we felt earlier?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too!
Hold up! How was Paimon feeling a tremor? Paimon isn't on the ground. Tremors don't pass through the air. She wouldn't have felt anything. She would have heard it and seen it, but she wouldn't have felt it. Lies, Paimon.
We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon.
How do waters rush in and then recede so quickly? If there was a sudden excess in volume of water, where did it come from and where did it go?
If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
Yes, Spinner Drusilla's headquarters is there.
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I've finished things here.
Sounds like a plan.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
I just want to, don't mind me. I love it when that happens. So the time is 1:25. The time is not 1:25. Okay, that's what I just wanted to check. It seems that the clocks are stuck on the one time in his place. I have a teleport, don't I, in Poisson? Yes, I do. Oh, did it want me to go above ground? Hold up. Alright, we're fine.
Oh no! What happened here?
The water level rose, isn't that much obvious? All the buildings here seem to be in pretty rough shape now. There's nobody around. Were they all dissolved? No, let's not assume the worst yet.
Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... Paimon means we need to check on her.
Look for Navia and Poisson.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
We walked 20 meters.
This is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over...
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right.
Why is
Just
it
hurry.
disaster victim male? What? Or is his name M? Desiree's father.
How will I survive on my own?
Is Desiree dead? Who's Desiree?
He looks pretty sad.
My leg. My leg.
Why do we have to put their gender? What?
How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
This tragedy actually brings up a really good point. Why the hell is their headquarters located in a point that would flood easily in a country that has got a prophecy about flooding waters? That seems like a really dumb idea. Like on the surface, like in any other nation of the world, fantastic. It's relatively hidden. It'd be hard for people to find. It's nice and secretive. It's great. But in Fontaine of all places, why would you make a base in a cave that would flood? Really poor planning on the part of the head of the order when it first formed. Yes, Navia, I am dissing your ancestors. What's the best way to get there? Up and fly? Oh, well, we're only going to the docks. We're not going onto the ship itself. What the? No. Bro, what are you doing? Follow my directions. We're not going to make it. Yes, just. That is not where I was.
It's Navia.
Okay.
She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
I don't understand how he broke his leg. Oh, so it's not the dude who was on the roof.
Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise.
Why is your voice quieter?
At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. They were all dissolved.
Wow, this game actually went there.
Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
I'd like to know where the water went.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad dream.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
We're here to help.
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me. I really can't express how grateful I am.
Wait, we're missing some people, aren't we?
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Where is Silver and... Yeah, Malice, that's the name. I couldn't think of what the other name was. They both died?
Demoiselle, we've got a situation here.
No.
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
Not Malice. He was so helpful.
And out she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Paimon, I don't care about her taking a break. That is not the priority right now. She just lost the two people who cared the most about her. And that she cared the most about. Navia walks around talking with many people and organizing various matters. Decisions are clear and reasonable. Her face is marked with a somber expression
The
throughout.
wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
I understand.
Thank you.
I mean, this does seem like a pretty weird moment, let's be real. A pretty weird moment to be... We're going from up here. To be leaving this place.